Good morning, I'm Paul, the running shoe guru. This is Marathon Handbook, and today we're looking at Altra's range of shoes, and we're going to look at shoes that are going to take you everywhere, from the roads to the trails. Altra are a brand that are just over 10 years old, so relatively new in the grand scheme of technical running specialty shoes, and their shoes came about from their founders' kind of needs and discoveries that they actually felt better, more comfortable, or more naturally running in their stride and their gait in shoes that didn't have a high stack of cushioning in the heel. So basically they removed the heel stack and made their shoes evenly balanced cushioning throughout the length of the shoe. Some people call it zero drop, the height of the cushioning in the heel being equal to that under the forefoot. Altra call it balanced cushioning, and they've got a whole range of shoes now offering this balanced cushioning fit and feel. It does promote a more midfoot strike, it does help absorb impact when you're running, and another very noticeable feature of many of the band's shoes is their foot-shaped toe box. So yeah, the shoes spread out in the toe box here, area here. They're not necessarily much wider, they're just a different shape, a little bit more volume. The idea is that they allow the feet, the toes to spread out, to splay, naturally balance the foot, and naturally kind of absorb the impact as well. You'll notice a lot of the shoes have the outsole pattern that follows the metatarsals of the feet as well. So this foot-shaped toe box is a distinctive look to all their shoes, along with the balanced cushioning. And I'm going to look at some of the shoes now that's going to take you from road running to the highest or more rugged terrains, shall we say. First up, we're going to look at a very popular road running shoe from the brand, the Paradigm 7. Although Altra classify it as a stability and support type shoe, it is a shoe that pretty much anybody could wear because it features what Altra are calling, like books, guide rails. So these guide rails basically are these sections of the midsole that cup up around the rear of the foot. So with no medial post, okay, that's gone. It's all a single density, 30mm stack throughout the length of the shoe, heel and forefoot, and the guide rails are there to add support if it's required. So if your foot does lean laterally or medially, it will hit the guide rails and that will provide the support. If it doesn't, if you're a truly neutral runner, then great, your foot will roll down the middle, you won't even notice the guide rails are there. So it makes it a very good all-round road running shoe. And if you think that perhaps you do pronate a little bit, or perhaps later into a longer run that you do roll a little, then the shoe will have you kind of under control. So this is the Paradigm 7. So it's a very well established shoe in the Altra lineup. It's £155, $170, 30mm stack, balanced cushioning throughout the length of the shoe. Comes in at 293 grams, 10.35 ounces. It's not the lightest shoe, but at under 300 for a great big stack of cushioning, I think it's perfectly in the kind of acceptable realms for an everyday training shoe. Familiar Altra features the foot-shaped toe box, the balanced cushioning, guide rails unique to this particular road shoe from Altra, the foot pod, as that's Altra's brand name if you like. This is the way in which the midsole is grooved and has these kind of metatarsal elements to it, so it flexes with the foot. The shoes do flex very well and kind of works with the wider toe box. Your foot spreads out and it does have a surprisingly natural ride to it. Cushioning is the brand's Altra Ego Max cushioning, and this is their lighter form. I guess it's based on a compression molded EVA, but it is a little bit springier, a little bit more responsive than the brand's regular Altra Ego form, which is purely compression molded EVA. Altra Ego Max has another blend of rubber in it or some kind of polymer, and it does have a slightly springier feel. So the Paradigm 7, road shoe, support if you need it, 30mm stack. It's a very good all-round road shoe. I'd say probably the most versatile road shoe from Altra. So when you're transitioning from road to trail type runs, that's when a shoe like the Outroad really comes into its best, because simply you've got great cushioning throughout the whole length of the shoe and that nice outsole. You can see how the midsole kind of cups up on both sides of the shoe, both medially and laterally, so it helps give that balanced and stable ride. You can see the studs on there do offer maybe up to around 3mm of traction, so they are good on gravel tracks and a lot of the everyday trails, so shall we say. So nothing too technical or too muddy or soft, but for firm packed trails, this is really a versatile trail shoe. So it's a door to trail shoe, as a lot of brands classify it. The Outroad 2, great cushioning, 27mm, so still a relatively high stack, and it is that balanced cushioning again, so 27mm in the heel and in the forefoot. It's £130 in the UK, $140 US, 303 grams, 10.7 ounces. So again, at that around that 300 grams mark, it's not too heavy. It's not a lightweight shoe, but it is an everyday trainer, and it is door to trail, so it's very versatile. And you should expect it to be a little bit heavier, I guess, because you've got such a rugged, hard-wearing sole on the bottom there. Foot-shaped toe box allows the foot to spread. Really good when you're encountering a variety of trails. So when it's kind of a little bit unexpected under the foot can spread out a bit. It balances itself naturally. So we've got a very smooth, natural kind of feeling ride to it. And on the hard-packed trails where I run, then it copes very well. I never really encounter anything too technical or too wet and muddy, to be honest. I do stick to the drier, firmer, gravelly paths and trails. The outsole is the band's Max Track. It's a relatively sticky kind of rubber, but again, it's just a pattern of it, and the way in which we've got this, the foot pod kind of shape, again, these lines of the sole following the metatarsals, it does work really well, and it kind of allows the foot to spread out and adapt to the terrain really nicely. Altra Ego Foam Max, that's their EVA cushioning, feels perfectly acceptable on the road and on the trail as well. I think when you're running onto the trails, you don't want anything too soft, so in this shoe, it works really well, and it's a really nice, versatile model. So that's the Outroad 2. So Altra are a brand that are best known for their range of trail shoes. They've got a really quite extensive lineup of trail shoes, and this one, the Olympus 5, is their plushest trail shoe. It's got a lot of cushioning. It's light, it's cushioned, but it's also their plushest shoe, so it's kind of built for going the distance in comfort. Foot shape box as always, and a balanced ride with 33mm of cushioning stack. It's not advertised as having the guide rails of the Paradigm. You can see that the cushioning does extend up around the heel, and it does cup the heel. Your foot's sitting into a cup there on both sides of the shoe, both medially and laterally. So it is very stable, and you can see the heel flares a little, so it's got a broader footprint. So it is a very stable trail shoe as well, and I think that's what makes it the shoe it is, built for distance, built for everyday miles. The Olympus 5 is £155, $180 in the US. You've got that 33mm of cushioning. Comes in at 350 grams, so it's a little bit heavier, but you've got a lot going on here. Really plush upper, big stack of cushioning, and a vibrant sole. So that's going to add a little bit of extra weight on there. So 350 grams, 12.3 ounces. Like I say, it is the plushest shoe in that lineup, and it really is exceptionally plush and comfortable from the moment you step into it. Lots of nice cushioning around this heel collar. I do like a very nice padded heel collar. Soft around the Achilles here. It flares away from the Achilles, so no irritation. Compression molded EVA midsole. It is a little bit softer than the Outroad's midsole cushioning, I feel anyway. Vibram outsole, the sticky traction that can cope with the mud. And if you are going a little bit more extreme, you've got gaiter hooks on the front of the laces here and Velcro on the heel. So a very versatile shoe. built to really tackle everything and any conditions. And if you're getting a little bit more extreme, put the gaiter on and away you go. A good solid shoe, but extreme comfort. Soft breathable mesh upper as well. Here's a plus shoe. If you want a very soft, welcoming, cush, balanced, stable shoe for the trails, then this is the one to go for. The Mont Blanc is a lightweight, technical, fast-moving, off-road, balanced cushioning shoe. Still got 30mm of cushioning in there, but it's lighter. It's a long-distance trail cruiser, even racer, really. If I was to be tackling some of the longer distance kind of UTMB type events, this would be the one to go for there. So long distance racer trainer, £165, $180 US, 30mm stack, like I said, 280 grams, 9.9 ounces. The cushioning is Altra's Ultra Ego Max foam, so it is that softer, slightly more responsive foam, so it does give it that energized feel, and the slightly lower stack, but with a rocker to the toe, does allow it to push off really well. And it's something that, combined with the foot-shaped toe box, the grippy rubber fibre on the outsole, you can push the pace in this shoe. It just does feel light and flexible. The fit is a little bit slimmer around the midfoot, I found. Does allow the feet to spread, so when you're going hard on the trails and fast, this is the one that lets you do that. It's a fast trail shoe with plenty of cushioning. That's the Mont Blanc. So the Lone Peak 7 last year certainly was the best-selling trail shoe in the USA, and I think there's several contributing factors to that. It's purely the versatility of the shoe. It's got all the standard Altra features, the foot-shaped toe box, the balanced cushioned ride. You've got a sole that can kind of tackle anything, really. A very good introduction to zero-drop shoes, and a very good introduction to Altra shoes as well. A very popular shoe, and popular for a reason. It's very well made, it's a very durable construction, and it ticks a lot of the boxes. Lone Peak 7 comes in at £135, $150. We have a 25mm stack of balanced cushioning, 25 in the heel, 25 in the forefoot. 314 grams, 11 ounces, but being a little bit lower to the ground, and I'm saying low, it's got 25mm of stack, so if we were to rewind a few years, 25mm of stack is a great big chunk of cushioning, but on the trails, it feels good, and it allows the shoe to flex and adapt to the ground. It's a very versatile and responsive shoe. We've got the foot-shaped toe box, but a slightly slimmer fit around the midfoot, so it hugs the foot well, it fits very well, but again allows the feet to spread. The Max Track sole, now this isn't vibrant, but it is very grippy. So we've got these chevron-shaped lugs. If you've seen these chevron-shaped lugs on a lot of shoes, so basically the forward-facing lug allows the shoe to bite into the ground to grip when climbing, and the reverse chevron, when you're descending, that provides the traction going down to stop you from slipping as well. So that explains really the way, or the reason, that the chevrons are reversed in the heel and forefoot of a trail shoe. So very grippy. I think thanks to that foot-shaped box, allows the foot to just flex and adapt to the terrain. Whether it is even short stretches of road, it's absolutely fine. But when you do get on the trails, whether it's your lighter trail, your gravel type paths, or the more technical stuff, the shoe can adapt to it. It just soaks it up. It's got plenty of protection as well. You've got a very thick rubberized toe bumper around here. So lots of protection, and it's just a rugged, hard-wearing shoe. Comfort isn't compromised at all. Again, nice soft plush heel collar, lots of padding around the back of the foot on the Achilles area of the shoe. The heel tab is quite low, so although that does look quite thick, there's plenty going on there. It's nice and soft, so the foot sits in there really nicely. It's just very comfortable from the word go, from the moment you step into it. Lone Peak 7, that's the most technical trail shoe. So that's a little run through of the Altra lineup of shoes to take you everywhere from the road to the most extreme trail. Hope you've enjoyed this video and it's been informative. Do you wear Altras? Which is your favourite? If you haven't tried any of these shoes, which would you like to try? What would you be looking forward to, or what might be your next purchase? As always, thanks for watching. This is Marathon Handbook, and we'll see you again very soon.